So from the likes of 320 yards rushing that they allowed, their best running back that they revolve the offense around is a literal wrong sides of 40, Frank Gore, and sides along them from trying to stay on high in the NFL and see if everyone knows he do. They're the worst team in the NFL. They're wins with decent enough season for at least some 5 wins. Injured. George Fant, I don't know if he's really over to, is injured. Frank Gore falls a bit to injury, and so does Rashad Perryman. The team has fallen out of any semblance of competing. They've been eliminated, and probably early up in the season, they didn't play well since week 1. What we've been getting for most of for the game: loose balls, terrible splits carrying consistencies over quarterback disputes. The coach obviously not with risque play calling. Who goes for punt in the second quarter? A fake punt, no less. A fake punt ain't good, bro. You're the worst rushing team, the worst passing team. You're at least average enough in the 27th ranked defense. They're the 32nd ranked offense. Listen, the Jets get their crap for 30 years. They haven't won a Super Bowl since Super Bowl III, when the Colts were literally the Browns. They are terrible. When the Colts were in Baltimore, that's how bad they were. They at least snuffed up to nearly losing every game due to double digits, or close call, terrible play calling. Some they lose winless. Some they lose with only one score. Some they lose with only scoring one touchdown. Just look, 17-27. Then they lost 3-20 against Miami, and now they got the Raiders, where they're at least average enough in rushing. Thanks Joshua Jacobs. And siding over most of the statistics, Nelson Aguilar is playing way better than he ever did for his last 3 seasons with the Eagles. They can barely throw down the splits. The O-line makes the most worst pockets with the inconsistencies and young talent completely down the piss hole. They are better in total yardage. They're better in passing yardage. Derek Carr makes the rushing works, and they have even had close ones against teams, and they're just due near 5, like a slight hitch above 500 off a 6-5 record. And this is coming after I think they lost to the Chargers earlier. There has been no game the Jets looked like they had a winning chance. People knew they were going to lose to Denver. People knew they were going to lose to Miami. People knew they were going to lose to frickin' Buffalo twice. New England snatched it out lucky because they underperformed earlier up in the second half. But then we had the rest of the game. And if you can't play a full 4 quarters and you're only decent enough to under-retrieve until you hit the second half, then a real football team got you guys. You guys only have 6 football games left. No, I'm kidding, it's 5. We are in December. Dude, there's no excuses anymore. You out of primetime games. None of your divisional games will clutch it out. The Browns. The freaking Browns that won 0-16. Now they're 8 wins, and they haven't hit 8 wins since 2009. They haven't hit a playoff berth since 2002, and these guys feel more competent than you, and they haven't won a championship since the championship was literally called the NFL title. It wasn't NFL championship game. It wasn't called the Super Bowl. God, jeez, this is bad. There is no confidence that I have on this team, and it's so depressing because I want the Jets to succeed as much as I'm not even a fan of them. Even though I live in the area, I still want a local area team to actually look good while playing football. And this is going over like the Cowboys' unsuccess, the entire NFC East looking like a complete joke, looking like all Cleveland Brown teams in different years, the absolute snuffness that is the Baltimore Ravens, and they're just getting snuffed out. The Pittsburgh Steelers dominating and all this stuff going on in the league, and yet the Jets going winless. There's no chance in hell. Some guy's just gonna earn a lot of money. Even if you're a Jets fan, I expect you to do the same. Bet against the Jets. It's so sad. Because I have the Vegas above 500. The secondary division leading Seattle Seahawks. The Rams that's been playing on and off but still competitive. The Browns that are pretty much sneaking to a wild card spot. And the Patriots that hasn't played good since week 4. But still decent enough to push off a game. And they beat you by 30-18. And that was back week 9 before your bye week. Now you come off 2 games after losing to the Chargers in a close one. And the Chargers beat Miami in a close one before they fell off with a giant pick from Tua Tagovailoa. No, that was Justin Herbert. Still. And the Dolphins are just better than you. It's bad. Total yardage is atrocious. Splits are terrible. You guys barely even fine-tuning quarterbacks. You have one that people want to assume is a decent at least veteran favorite. You guys do weak wheel play, short route, BS. The team doesn't look that well coached at all. It's like I'm looking at a Division II college football team, and it's over the Hodges that you guys even think of still having confidence in Sam Darnold. He's a suitable threat, and I would like him more to develop. Other than his average size and his running ability, I don't mind if you guys try to tank for Trevor Lawrence, but not like this, when it completely negates any semblance of having good football, especially for the year. Imagine how people think after you guys won 6 straight. I'm sick of bringing this up, but it does matter. It does really matter. God, if your leading rusher is a 37-year-old Frank Gore with 521 yards in his name, when we're up to week 13, is not that good with a long of 17 yards. Oh my God, only 3.7. That means he's better than LaMichael Ferrin. He's faster than Sam Darnold. Le'Veon Bell before he got waved off. It's just terrible. Josh Adams couldn't even do anything for this. This team is just embarrassing, guys. And if y'all still have any semblance of optimism for this team, I would just have to watch them. At least watch the Giants, because at least they look like they can play football. They have decent offensive threats. They improve slightly defensively from last year, and I give them that. And they're just at least probably a game or two behind over the leading of the NFC East. That if you go below 500, it's still fair game to at least squeeze into the playoffs. That sounds mean, but you know I'm right. Look at this. No one is above 500. The Giants squeezing off just because they got a win over a 4-7. They're leading the division off of 4-7. Does not tell you anything. And I swear, all 4 of these teams right here could beat the Jets. And the Cowboys lost to the Jets week 5 of last season. This is just bad. Be lucky enough that I actually like a few of your players. Like a very few. Steve Williams. Brian Poole can sometimes be dependable on the field. Hewitt can be fine. Big Douglin. Bryce Huff. Denzel Mims. God, it just feels like you have some potential, and then they play call it off to hell, man. Denzel Mims, Braxton Berrios, that's been a pretty decent receiver over the past couple weeks. Like near the middle of the season, have been the most reliable guys you had. Over Brashad Perryman being like out for a couple weeks, and then you giving away your superstar running back, all because he's been underperforming because of your terrible play calling. You don't blame your top player because you can't suit him up to be pretty good for your team. You're gonna blame Michael Jordan because the Wizards for Wizards not making the playoffs back in the early 2000s. Really? I mean, front office wise, yes. In the court, it can't be one individual's fault. This is just embarrassing. I need the Jets to clean it up, and they can't even make trades at this point because we're in week 13. The deadline has passed. Nothing has been at least slightly improved to at least give them some decent offensive edge. Just they're they're in 31% of third down conversions, and they increase it to 46 for their opponents. And they're at least average enough in red zone of 33%. They can barely capitalize off short gain routes. They're lucky enough to at least get down for like a 15-yard gain when it comes to Darnold running it or Frank Gore pushing as long as they can take it. It is sad to watch Jets football. But I want to see how y'all feel because I'm going to watch the Raiders and Jets game come tomorrow on Sunday. So when that happens, and when they do lose, because they are going to lose, just understand they put this upon themselves. Adam Gase put this upon themselves. The team put this upon themselves because they wasn't disciplined enough to even play that well. They weren't skilled enough to even play that well, and they did that to themselves to lose. So that's all I gotta say about that. Other than that, happy holidays. Welcome to December.